Experiment on remembering breakfast. We will be doing an experiment about memory. Specifically, we will examine our memory of a recent event, in this case, our breakfast, or another recent meal. In our direct experience, what happens? Do we experience memory as able to be veridical? This is another experiment from Dr. Greg Goode's book, The Direct Path. Let's begin with a quick recap of the high points of the direct path. The direct path teaches that our own selves, along with the world, body, and mind, are all one single pure consciousness, beyond space, time, and multiplicity. This consciousness is often called awareness, and is characterized as being, knowledge, and love. This derives from Advaita Vedanta, where it is taught that the ultimate is Sat Chit Ananda, that is, being, knowledge, bliss. In these teachings, this undivided awareness is what we really are, even when it seems like we are something local, something separate, something related to the body or mind. And the direct path gives us many pointers, many experiential ways to discover that we and everything else are nothing separate, but rather awareness itself. Today's experiment on memory is from the part of the Direct Path book that investigates the mind and its functions. The purpose of this experiment is to deconstruct the assumption that we usually have that memory is able to be veridical and accurate, able to grasp events that truly happened. We usually assume that memory is a present thought that is able to call up an actual past event or past thought. This assumption helps solidify other assumptions, such as those that past occurrences or impressions are objectively real. It seems as though if they truly are objectively real events, they are independent of us and independent of our current thoughts about them. How do we imagine that current thoughts are able to point to or reproduce occurrences from the past? We may imagine that our current thoughts are able to, when accurate, represent or resemble or point to the past. All these assumptions are an important part of our view of what seems to be a coherent, objectively existent world in which our bodies and minds exist. And if it ever seems like our memories are failing or inaccurate, it can seem as though we are losing our connection to the world, to the things and to the people in the world. The fragility of memory can make us feel finite, temporary, and perishable. Our experiment about memory puts many of these assumptions to the test. We take an ultra-close-up look at our direct experience of memory. Does our direct experience verify the assumptions we make about memory? How do present thoughts meet up with past thoughts, feelings, or sensations? What is our direct experience of the connection? Are the claims of memory directly verified? Here is the heart opener. First, take a deep breath slowly in. Now exhale slowly all the way. Take another deep breath in. Exhale all the way. Now take 3/4 of a deep breath and exhale as you normally would. Second, close your eyes. Notice that there might be sounds, sensations, feelings, and thoughts arising, but that you, the witnessing awareness to which these things are arising, are always already present. Third, notice that you are this clarity. You are present whether there are objects arising or not. If there are objects, you are already here as that which knows the presence of the objects. If there are no objects, you are already here as that which knows the absence of the objects. Regardless of the presence or absence of objects, you are here. Fourth, notice that you are not an observed object at all, but the open, spacious, brilliant clarity in which these objects arise. You cannot grasp or hold this clarity, for it is the very spaciousness in which grasping arises. Fifth, notice that there are no walls to this clarity, no edges to you. You are borderless. You are not contained by anything. You are limitless. Now to the experiment. We will be discovering whether our memory can verify the existence of our recent breakfast. As you set up for this experiment, all you need is a comfortable, quiet place to sit. There are three main parts of this experiment and a few subparts. First, take a moment to remember as vividly as you can the experience of eating breakfast earlier in the day. It helps to be specific. Remember the feelings of hunger and anticipation. Remember the flavors, textures, aromas, the feelings of hardness, softness, crispiness, crunchiness, moistness, dryness, spiciness, saltiness, and sweetness of the food. If you haven't washed the dishes yet, you may even look at the remnants of the food on the plate and cup and knife and fork. Can you feel the food in your stomach? These things may help make the memories more vivid. Second, now check for a moment. There seems to be a series of memory thoughts occurring right now in direct experience. These present memory thoughts seem to be recalling or referring to breakfast thoughts, which occurred earlier when you had breakfast and experienced the thoughts originally. Third, ask yourself how reference can actually happen. In your direct experience, how does a present memory thought actually refer to a breakfast thought? What is the proof that the breakfast thought actually occurred? When the breakfast thoughts arose, was there a memory thought among them taking notes? And now, while the memory thoughts are arising, are there any original breakfast thoughts present to serve as reference? Let's review our experiment. We have come to a mildly shocking realization. In the same way that thoughts about oranges have no reference, memory thoughts also have no reference. The original thought and the later memory thought are never present at the same time. According to the assumption that thoughts happen in a series and can refer to each other, we have made some radical discoveries. When the original thought is present, the memory thought is not yet present. When the memory thought arises, the original thought is long gone. A thought and its memory thought are never co-present. They never meet and are never present together to refer or to be referred to. We never directly experience reference or pointing. Other than a present thought that makes the claim, there is absolutely no substantiation that a previous thought ever arose. The current thought is unable to reach out to that previous thought to verify the current claim, and there is no other way to reach the supposed past thought. The current thought, the so-called current claim, which is now no longer current, stands unverified. There is no verification for memory. So-called memory is nothing more than a current thought arising in you as witnessing awareness. Here are some ideas for memory experiments you can do on your own. You can do this kind of experiment on almost anything it seems you can remember. You can examine memories of your childhood or adolescence. You can examine memories of last night's dinner. You can try pleasant or unpleasant experiences. You can try travels, sporting events, movies, meditations, or any other aspect of life. For example, let's say you had a bicycle accident and you now have a scar on your leg. The present memories, the visual and tactile sensation of the scar, the feelings of stiffness, all these are good evidence in the everyday sense that there was a previous accident. But in your direct experience, are the original thoughts currently arising? Are they allowing themselves to be pointed to by the memory thoughts, or do you merely experience memory thoughts that seem to point to the original thought? In the everyday sense of getting around in the world, as a person among other persons, we use present clues and traces and evidence to substantiate claims about the past. When you show the waiter the check where she overcharged you for a large salad instead of a small salad, she may suddenly realize, oh yes, I remember you did order the small. The various clues, like the small plate in front of you, will help. This is all fine. Non-dual inquiry is open to the everyday sense of things arising in infinitely rich ways as a flavor of awareness. But that doesn't mean we need to believe the literality and objectivity of the everyday sense. We can use everyday language in a kind of knowing, pragmatic, ironic way without truly believing it. We simply have no need to regard the everyday sense of things, with its dualistic and often alienating assumptions, as the literal truth of our experience. Non-dual inquiry frees us from all of this.